the present session in continuation with the previous classes. Let us continue with the present session. This is also the part of data visualization for decision making. Now we will discuss in this session data analysis process. As you know, we have already discussed data-driven decision making. Then we have discussed the decision making process. And entire process of decision making, either data driven or simply decision making process, involves a lot of activity which is called the analysis of data. So what exactly behind the data analysis process, how this analysis conducted, how the ultimate results or outcome of analysis are obtained, then how people communicate this result or they transmit this result or share this result with the concerned people for decision. So let us continue. First of all, just a minute. So analysis, if we talk simply about the word analysis, can be defined like data analysis is the process of cleaning, or simply let us see analysis is the process of cleaning, changing, processing raw data and extracting actionable, relevant information that help business make informed decisions. Okay. Okay. If we eliminate the word data from this definition, then what is analysis? Is the task of analyzing anything by means of clearing it, by means of updating or modifying it, by means of manipulating it. And with these activity, whatever outcome is come from the analysis, that is delivered as a result of the analysis. Here we have concern with the data analysis, so that's why it is related data analysis. This kind of definition is predicted here. Now you see the process of cleaning. So what it means? When you receive the data source, as we have discussed in the previous sessions, the data source may be a raw data source. It may be a huge data source. It may be including wanted and unwanted data elements, or it may be having some noisy data, some garbage data. So the process of filtering these data, process of updating this data, process of making this data relevant to analysis is the job of cleaning, changing, and processing. And finally, the analysis is the job of processing. That means once you make the data ready for analysis, then you perform analysis. And this analysis means processing the data. Now it depends on various criteria. It depends on various statistical or mathematical model or various algorithm for manipulation and calculation of the data. All together with the process of data, we generate some information. And in the case of decision making, the analysis generate actionable information. At the same time, it produces relevant information. For what? For supporting the business to make informed decision, or to support the business people or managers to take data centered decisions, or we call the data driven decision making. Here is an holistic view, or in a diagram it is shown that once you are receiving the data, you are putting into a machine like objects, and that machine is somehow performing analysis tasks and generating the information in the form of some visuals like some bars or maybe graphics. Let us proceed further. Now here it is a simplest introduction to data analysis process. So here the point one is being displayed here. It means the example of data analysis can be seen whenever we take a decision in our daily life by evaluating what has happened in the past or what will happen if we make that decision. So what it is reflecting here? It is reflecting here that data analysis is the basic component or the tools or the model which help us to analyze the available data, first of all. And with the analysis of the available data, we generate some kind of information. These information further help us to make decisions. For what? To make decision for future actions. And the analytical output of the data also produces some option suggestions, which help you to take decision that if you will take decision A, this will happen in future. If you take decision B, this will happen in future. This kind of options are provided. So basically, this is the process of analyzing the past or future and making a decision based on the analysis. Actually, it is the process of analyzing the past and present. Okay. And on the basis of analysis of past and present, it helps to predict or it helps to take decision for future related with the business or for the enhancement of the business, for the growth of the business, whatever you can say. Let us see further. Why is data analysis important? One line is depicted here that the business will know their target customer in a better way if they perform data analysis. There is one line, one area, one dimension is given. But there are thousands and hundreds of possible reasons why nowadays data analysis or decision making or data analytics has become a compulsion for keeping the business on track. Okay, this is the reality. So data analysis tracks how well your products and campaigns are performing with your target demographics. That means this is the analysis which can let the know, which can help the managers or marketing managers or product manager or sales manager that whatever they are taking the strategy for marketing of the product, is it successful? Is it sufficient? Is it working positively and ensuring that it will bring good business to the company? There is only the analysis can help them to know these facts. Through the data analysis, your business can get a better idea of your target audience, spending habits, disposable income, and most likely area of interest. This is the another dimension of analysis. Here, it means that in a business, to know the customer, to understand the customer, to understand the requirement of the customer, the likeness and dislikeness of the customer, expectation of the customer is very important. Equally important, we can say, like producing a product or marketing a product. So that's why this is the data analysis regarding customer data. If we perform the analysis, we can generate lots of information about the customers related with the company for which we are working. Like we can generate the habits of the customer, their thinking or their likeness or dislikeness, their limit of expenses or their limit of resources or their budgeting limits. And of course, we also may be able to visualize and predict the interest area of the customer regarding the products or services of the company. So there are a number of reasons for which data analysis is important. Few is quoted here only. Let us proceed. This is a block diagram. You can say that how data analysis works. What is the process of analysis carried out? Is a kind of flow diagram, you can say. So if you see carefully, the first starts from the collection of data, as well as we can see that it helps to it starts from identifying the source data sources, then collecting the data, then third step cleaning, making the data ready for analysis, and then analyze, that means performing analysis, then delivering the result which will be interpreted for decision. So these five blocks helps to understand how entire analysis process carried out in a business domain. Now, data analysis process in detail, if we can look it in carefully, the various steps are involved in data analysis, as in other cases which we have seen in the past sessions. The first thing is plan for analysis, the very first thing. So once you are ready for data analysis, having a large data source with you, having a very huge data set with you, and you are ready to go for data analysis, then the first thing you have to prepare a proper plan that why you want to do this analysis, and you also draw a framework for your analysis. One thing, the objectivity of analysis must be in the plan, and the process of analysis will go through by which framework or which strategical method or process. This is the part of planning, first of all, before doing the analysis. Then comes data requirement gathering, as we have already discussed at some part. So here it comes that if your objectivity of the analysis is final, now you have to very carefully identify your data, that what kind of data you need. Then why you doing analysis or what type of data you want to use, and from where this data will be received. So what will be the data source? What is your planning to get the data and to analyze the data? Then after comes the collection. Once you identify the source, you decided that what data you want to use, then you have to connect this data with your framework, analytical framework. And here you will have to requirement, according to your requirement, you have to identify the data, and it is time to collect the data from your sources. For example, if you have decided to do market sales analysis, then you have decided you will collect uh, your business sales data. If you are doing for your own company and your company have a big, enormous data set related to sales data, you will select this data. So that is your data source. So collecting it means now you have decided to use a framework like Tableau or Power BI for your analysis, then you must bring that sales data inside that framework also. Then once you bring down the raw data in the framework or the IDE which you are going to use for your analysis, then it is time to clean the data. That means prepare the data ready for analysis by eliminating the garbage, unwanted, or inconsistent data from the data set. This is the data cleaning. So not all of the data you collect will be useful, number one. So it is time to clean it up. This process is where you remove white spaces, duplicate records, and basic errors. Not only this, but also you skip those field or columns which you don't need in your analysis. Also, you will skip the rows which you don't need to use in your analysis, or you specify the number of rows which you want to include for your analysis. This all comes under data cleaning. Okay. Fine. Once your data is clean, ready for performing the analysis, then it is time for doing the analysis. Okay. Here is where you use data analysis software, another tool to help you interpret, understand the data, and arrive at a conclusion. As I already told you, if you want to use SQL query, you can do so for your analysis. If you want to use Tableau or Power BI for data analysis, you can do so. So whatever software you have decided, you have integrated the data within that software or imported the data in it. You have cleaned the data, and with the help of options available within the software, you perform various analysis and generate various insight or trends and record it for disseminating to the people. So this is the phenomena. When we will go in data visualization and we will see live demo of Tableau, there you will understand it very clearly. So doing with this software, you are basically interpreting the data, then understanding the story behind the data and generating the conclusions, what is the insight or recommendation for your analysis. Data interpretation. Once you have generated some insight, that is the area where you interpret that what the data is telling for the decision maker. So now that you have your results and you need to interpret them and come up with the best course of action based on your findings. Because the outcome of a analysis is never a single point or single suggestion or single step. But the outcome of analysis are always multiple options. And now interpreting these options means you are integrating them, aggregating them to reach a final conclusion for your recommendation, which will be best suited for your decision maker to take as a suitable option. So this is the interpretation. So you have to select the relevant outputs required for decision maker and making them or selecting them from multiple list of option or output, then making them more clear, more specific, pertinent to the decision making objectivity. So this is the outcome of your interpretation of analysis. And then comes the data visualization. Okay. So what we mean data visualization, we will have a complete session on data visualization later on after this session. But let us talk about it in a nutshell, in a aggregated way. So data visualization is a fancy way of saying, first thing, graphically show your information in a way that people can read and understand it. Okay. Let me simulate it with some graphical symbols displayed on the road crossings or in the various pathway. There are some traffic symbols being used. Okay, like to stop the people or to instruct the people that you cannot turn to this way. Either it is a U-turn or right turn, whatever may be. What they perform, they make a diagram of U-turn, then cross it. So writing a sentence for the driver that please do not take a U-turn in place of that one symbol is more effective for communication. I think you are understanding it. Similarly, if there are some diversion, there are some bad condition of roads, then they provide some specific symbols to go drive slow or having the sharp turning or having a diversion. So these symbols also make them aware in place of reading the board what is written there. This is one area of telling you the things. But in analysis or data analysis, when you generate some information for the decision makers and you want to communicate them so that the outcome of your analysis must be very clear to them and very striking to them. They must understand these results in a single shot with a very small ample of time. Then suppose you have generated a comparison of sales of three products. Okay. In a tabular data output, you have generated product A, B, C, and you have generated the quantitative sales quantity and their amount, and you have sorted it in descending order. So highest sold product is on top level and lowest is in the bottom level. You can present that table also as your insight, as your outcome of your analysis. But suppose in place of that, if you can produce a bar chart based on the same table, so viewing the bar chart in a single second, they will understand that product A is higher or product B is higher or product C is higher, isn't it? So this is the data visualization, which put more effect to your outcome and insight and your findings. Now, this is another area that what are the types of data analysis? Normally, analysis means analysis, that you are going to analyze the data, finding the hidden patterns and insights inside the data, then drawing the conclusion, extracting the meaningful, actionable information, then presenting it in a documented view or in a visual view. That is the overall analysis concept. But the analysis is categorized into some categories also. Like number one is diagnostic analysis. What it means the analysis which is going to answer that if anything is happened in the organization in past, then why it happened. Okay. So they emphasize on the analysis of past events and how these events happen, why these events are happened. So they find out some reason of these particular happenings of the business phenomena. Okay. So using insight gained from the statistical analysis, analysts use diagnostic analysis to identify patterns in data, and ideally, analysts find similar patterns that exist in the past and consequently use those solutions to resolve the present challenges, hopefully. So what happened when with the diagnostic analysis, if they record something happened in the past and they also find it out the reason why it happened, if similar things are going to happen in the present scenario, they can very easily understand and analyze the present scenario and suggest a good solution based on the past factors. Okay, so this diagnostic helps to diagnose the problem happening in the present on the basis of the past happenings. Predictive analysis. This is called, it helps to know the decision maker or analyst. Future predictions based on past happening, based on present going on scenario, what is going to be happened in next or in future. So that's why it is called predictive analysis, because it generates the predictions. Okay. By using these patterns found in the older data as well as current events, analyst predicts the future event based on the past events or past data, then the present data. By comparing the scenario going on in the past to present, they can predict what is going to happen into future. So this predictive analysis helps in such a way. We cannot say that these forecastings are 100% ensure, but it may also provide a mechanism for optimizing the business process. The analysts have plenty of detailed information and the discipline to research it thoroughly. Even though the forecasting is not necessary that will be accepted in toto, even with these forecasting, analyst and decision maker can rely up to some extent and further ensure with the basis of these forecasting for taking the right decisions. Prescriptive analysis. Once you decide that you have something to do in future with the present trends or with the trends existing in past and the trends existing in present and the predictions already made for the future, now the prescriptive analysis provides a recommendation, strong recommendation that yes, you have to take these steps for future benefit or optimization of the business process. So makes all insights gained from the other data analysis types. You have prescriptive analysis. That means you are integrating predictive, you are integrating the descriptive, all integrating all these findings into prescriptive. That means recommending something, and which is you are recommending, which you are going to recommend is a foolproof. So sometime an issue can be solved solely with one analysis type and instead requires multiple insights. Even though if the case is different with the descriptive analysis, if your problem is solved or decision maker are satisfied, is okay. If with the predictive analysis, the people are satisfied or the decision makers are sure about the decision making on the basis of forecasting, it's okay. If not in that sense, you have to integrate all these things and come out with prescriptive analysis, which they have to have accept in the interest of their companies, in the interest of their organization. They don't have any option apart from. Okay. Now, at the end, it is coming to, it is the time to consolidating the result. You have performed analysis, you have performed all type of analysis. Now you have to conclude the things, you have to integrate the result, you have to prepare the result. So what are the things to be taken in care while preparing the results? Okay. First thing is review the item listed in explore and analyze, which you do think will be the most challenging for you. So that means during analysis, you have received some different kind of trends and insights or the results. Then it is time that you should further analyze all the provided set of results and then identify that which one is most suitable, appropriate, accurate, relevant to the context. Selecting it is a very challenging task because all the insights generated in course of analysis are important. No one can simply ignore one or two or select any one out of three. It is very difficult. But even though, because it is time to prepare the result, you have to have go for a you have to have go for a proper mechanism that you should be able to uh, you should be able to select most appropriate and context relevant outcomes to be recommended by you for decision. Then discuss the action you can take now to move forward. And of course, it should not be a one man decision, but in place of that, there should be a team of members working on analysis, analytical team. You should discuss with the complete team members and let it be a joint decision for selecting the appropriate outcomes. Now, explore and analyze the result means gather the result. First of all, whatever outcomes have come, collect it. What is the data telling you? Then identify what all the insights or trends are depicting or indicating for decision making. That finding. Test the validity of the data. Now it comes that not only test the validity of data, but now you have to test the validity of options also provided from the data sets. Okay, so it is time that you must validate the results, whatever is coming, and whichever you are going to select for recommendation, you must go for validation of that particular outcome of your analysis, so that the people who are going to utilize this your recommendation or your analytical result for their decision making should not be any way underprivileged. Okay, so this is the explore and analyze the result, by which you can select some of the outcome or you can deselect some of the outcome and take a specific outcome to be your final recommendation for communicating to the people. Fine. Okay. Now this is a area where we talk about the importance of documentation in analysis. Basically, when we think that doing an analysis and generating the results and simply disseminating the results, that is not so much easy. You may think that we have generated the result and we will simply give it as it is generated, whatever it is, a printout, it is a soft copy, it is an audio clip, it is a video. We simply give it to the people and they will understand it. No more we have to do anything with the results. No, this is not the case. But when you have tested, when you have verified, when you have integrated the result, you are finally in the position of recommending your suggestion, your insights, your trends for the decision maker, then be prepared. That means your result must be have some kind of attributes. It must be further look into according to the goal of communication, because we have already decided the objectivity of the analysis at the very beginning when you have started the analysis. So it is time at the conclusion, when you are going to deliver the outcome of your analysis to the people concerned. This is called the goal of communication, means the goal of your result dissemination to the relevant people. So what are the steps involved here? Like, number one, plan. Know what you want to say. First of all, very clear, very specific. You cannot simply make a lot of things inside and make a paragraph, a story like things. You must be very point wise, specific things which you want to say, which you want to communicate. So first of all, you ensure yourself, you plan yourself for this. Then prepare, be ready means you must be able to aware the people or the aware the stakeholders who are going to receive your result or who are going to affected by your result. So making them all ready to receive the result, to understand the result, to accept the result, be prepared, be ready. Frame, that means framing the communication means context. It should be context relevant or relevant to the context. So context sensitivity must again be ensured before writing the lines of a statements or simply depicting the result, printing the result. The context must be at the top level, that every line of your communication must have a context relevance. Then comes simplify. Results should be presented in such a way that the very highly skillful people related to businessman can understand it easily, as well as very bottom level stakeholders of the business can also understand it very well. So it should be very simple. It should be very at a level of simple level of communication, so anyone can understand it. Then engage. So unless you can draw attention of your audience or announce a date of your communication, or prepare the people aware that your results are coming and they have to receive it and talk about this. So it is time that you make the people ready for this. Okay. So these are the points where you have to take care for communicating the result of your analysis. Fine. And communicate recommendation. Finally, like communicate your result, aim of for simplicity and clarity, know your audience and tailor your message, put your result in context. If you may not be able to make recommendation at this stage, then repeat your analysis, go for further analysis. Okay. And if it is okay, then it will be a stop. After communicating, your job is over. So this is all for today, and hope you will enjoy this session. This is Shams Raza from ISM Patna. Let us meet in the next session with the next topic, data visualization. Thank you.